All right, everybody, welcome in to the Pugs and how are we doing with the camera today? I thought I would get a real nice, clean, fresh start here, and I'm looking at the camera. Looks a little high. Looks like it needs to come down a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it. And also the lighting. The lighting is oh my God, folks. I apologize. Hold on. Hi, everybody. All right, let's turn the light a little bit. There we go, a little bit brighter so that I look beautiful. That ain't right either. It's better, though. It's better. Mr. Popular. Okay. Let's start this again. Sorry. I'll explain. All right. 3, 2, 1. That's the theme, before the shows. Oh yeah, I'll do it like this. Turn them just so it's really all right. All right, everybody, welcome into Pugs and Company, a daily show. We do it each and every day at noon. We call this High Noon. We do 2 shows. Sometimes we do a Pillow Talk edition. That's a nighttime sort of, hey, what are y'all doing? Let's just talk about the day that was and hang out and be silly. And that show usually comes with other people. You usually get your sunglasses, also known as E the Artist, also known as Uncle E, also known as Amel. He's usually there for Pillow Talk. And James Parker as well. James Parker will come in and hang out with us at the Pillow Talk edition. High Noon, though. High Noon is almost always just me and sunglasses. Although, wait, it's during the day, so he's not sunglasses. So it's just me and E the Artist, and we talk about topics. That's what this show is. This show is topic driven. It's all the things that are trending, whether it's on the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Googles, the MSNs, the Yahoos, whatever it is. If it trends somewhere, if people are talking about it here in this country, then that's what we get into. Consider it a cheat sheet for your day. Everything you need to know about what's happening in the world around us. And oh my gosh, there are a whole bunch of things happening today. Fun things. All right, now, the bad news. Apologize for last night's Pillow Talk. I do. I know when I signed off, I said there was an 87.5% chance that we were going to do a Pillow Talk last night. We didn't. That changed. Things changed rapidly. My kid is off school this week. And, being a part-time dad, I only, full-time dad, sometime custody kind of a deal. I try to, like, when I get them, like this is an extended weekend. Usually I get them for, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then either I'll take him to school on Monday morning or he'll go home Sunday night, depending on what, the next day is. But this one, I got a little extended time with him because he's off this week for the holiday. So it's easy for me to do this. The noon show won't be affected by that because he'll just go, it's noon. Go outside and play for an hour. It's like that. I can get rid of him. But at 9:00 at night or whatever, he's in the next room. I don't necessarily always want him being a part of the conversations that I'm having. I tend to yell. And those of you who are loyal listeners, you know that I'm broadcasting this show live from the beautiful palatial guest house high atop the One Percenter compound in gorgeous downtown Highland Park, Texas. And it's not as spacious as maybe I make it out to seem. There's just a wall, and he would be in there, and that at some point you'll get, shut up in there. And it's okay, sorry, didn't mean to affect your video gaming or whatever the hell it is you're doing in there. So the Pillow Talk one, whenever I have him, is always going to be the episode that will be affected the most. This one will do, because again, it's beautiful. It's sunny. Go outside and play. Go outside and play. What is with your generation? Go outside and play. Go throw rocks at the fence. I don't care. You're 12. Figure it out. That's easy to do at this time. Nighttime, not so much. You can't go outside and play. Go stand under a street light. That doesn't really work. So, all right. Now, here is the big question. Pugs, you're going to do a full 2 hours today? You guys should know by now that I always get in here. I don't, I'm not sure how much content I have. I'm not sure how much of what's trending I really want to go into. Because remember now, the rules of the show, we don't do just unnecessarily divisive political shit. Like if that's trending, if there's something that I got an interesting take on, or well, you'd be the judge of interesting, but if there's something that I judge to be worthy, I might mention something, but we're not going to get into any deep political debates. It's not going to happen. I don't want to do that. I'm so sick and tired of that kind of shit on radio. And I know this isn't radio, but still, I don't want to be talking to people who want to hear that garbage. So we ain't doing any of that shit. We also don't do a whole lot of sports. We dabble in sports. Sorry, I'm a passionate sports fan. I love my sports. From time to time, we'll do a little bit of sports. Mostly, this is all just frivolous stuff. This is stuff that concerns your day. Just these are topics that are just very accessible, divisive in a way, but not divisive in the way that I'm trying to stay away from. Like, I'll argue with you. Don't get me wrong. I'll tell you you're wrong, but not about who you vote for, because I don't give a shit who you vote for. I really don't. Okay, again, let's refresh here. There's about 10, although I am going to raise that maybe. Let's say 20. There's 20% whack jobs on the right, 20% whack jobs on the left, the 60% of us in the middle. We have to argue about stupid crap. Not the political crap. I don't. The 60% of us in the middle, hey, here's something we can do. The 60% of us in the middle. Stop telling people who we voted for. Just stop it. Just stop. Just don't. If we, as the 60% in the middle, would just stop being a flag waving righty or lefty or progressive or conservative, if just us 60%, if we just went, I think there's a curtain in the voting booth for a reason. If we all just acknowledge that and just started just living our lives with that, hey, who did you vote for? Here's the answer you give. None of your business. Hey, how about that Sleepy Joe? A good response would be, I ain't talking about this, stupid. We ain't getting into this. Hey, how about how awful that Trump was? Shut your mouth. Go away. Go crawl back under your rock. We are done. We are not talking about that. If we could all just live like that, I think that, honestly, I think that's the only way to fix things. I think that's the only way. You know what I always say? When you watch these cable news shows and they got somebody on there, and it's some old man in a suit, and you don't know who he is. You don't recognize him, but he's some congressman from Montana, right? These people, some of them are just so anonymous, it's insane. So they show up and it's like, hey, it's Congressman, Red Billings from Billy, whatever, wherever. So it's Congressman Red Billings from Montana. And then they put that little either R or D next to their name, just to let everybody watching know what side of the aisle they represent. What if all the news channels got rid of that R and D? What if they just got rid of it? What if they just put a dude on we didn't know? And he can say, well, I'm a Republican. He can say that if he wants. But what if we were no longer pre-triggered to think whatever the dude is saying is absolutely right and agrees with my sensibilities 100%, or I hate that guy and I'm not listening to anything he's saying? What would that do? Have you ever, because I believe that those R's and those D's, they turn people off immediately, no matter what the dude is saying. I mean, if you're smart and if you're truly engaged and if you really are someone who wants to be involved in the process, you'll be able to tell fairly quickly by what the dude is saying, what side of the aisles he's on. But I don't think many people can. I think many people look down at that R or that D and go, he's one of mine, he's one of theirs. So what if we got rid of that? It's like they're doing it on purpose. It's like they're doing it on purpose so that we don't have to think and actually listen. Hey, the news anchors themselves ain't listening. They ain't listening to what the people are saying. It goes like this. Here is going to be my question for the Republican from Ohio. Republican from Ohio will speak for at least 30 to 45 seconds. And then I will ask this question of the Republican from Ohio. They don't listen. There is no exchange of ideas. There is no, interestingly, very rarely do you see follow-ups now. It's always just moving on to the next set of preordained questions that are written specifically to get an interesting soundbite out of the person. It's another reason why I don't watch cable news anymore. It's broken. Nobody's getting informed. All right, let's talk about what today is. Today is the 23rd day of the month of November, year of our Lord 2021. Let's see, how many days to the end of the year? See, this is where I pretend like I'm just making it up, but I'm actually kind of looking at my notes. 320 off the top of my head. 327th day of the year. 328th in the leap years, if you count that, but I don't think we do. In Gregorian, the Gregorian calendar is what we use. See, I did that. I did that. What's that guy's name? What's the guy's name from Anchorman? You put anything on the teleprompter and he's going to read it. I read too much. I didn't mean to read that. There are 38 days that remain until the end of the year, and that would mean what? 32, 31 till Christmas? I don't know. Like I said, in December. December is when I'll give you a strong count on how many days till Christmas. At this point, we're just balling it. I have no idea. I'm guessing. Thanksgiving is a couple of days away. That's a whole thing. Yeah. Anyway. All right. What else? I mean, look, Thanksgiving is trending, so we'll do a little bit of Thanksgiving talk, but very little bit, because I got a feeling Thanksgiving is going to trend every day during every show this week. So unless something interesting happens, there's no reason. Let's see here. What happened? What things of interest occurred on this day? Let me see. Anything good? No, that's not good. On this day in 1991, Queen lead singer Freddie Mercury announces in a statement that he is HIV positive. He dies the next day. Whew, waited till the very last moment there, Freddie. Freddie Mercury. Queen lead singer Freddie Mercury on this day in 1991, he announced in a statement that he was HIV positive. And then he died the next day. Announced it on the 23rd, died on the 24th. That is a dude that didn't want to hear it. He just didn't want to hear it from you. He didn't want to be around for all the discussions of all the rehashing of his debauched rock and roll lifestyle. Didn't want to deal with it. He's like, okay, here's the thing. Here's why you haven't seen me. I've got HIV. Are you happy? I'm going to bed now, and I'm probably not going to wake up. Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury, was Freddie Mercury ever out? I mean, the band is called Queen, he's even out, 12 years old, 13 years old. I knew that he wasn't, I knew that he wasn't like Jack Lambert type man, I knew that he wasn't a Randy White type man. I could tell that he was a different variety of dude, but theatrical. Yeah, just theatrical. But did he ever come out? Like, was there a point where Freddie was going out in public with partners? I don't know. I don't know if I remember that. I don't know. All right, so there you go. That happened on this day. Let's see. Is there anything else that happened on this day in relative recent history? What else happened on this day? Anything else? No, there's nothing. All right, birthdays. We got any birthdays? Let's see here. Let me quickly scan the birthdays. Oh, we got stuff to get into today, by the way. If you stick with us, here's what I promise you're going to hear. At some point today, I am going to break down all of the crazy batshit conspiracy stuff that people might mention at Thanksgiving, and we've created a bit of a chart, a bit of a flow, where we will start with the shit that people are going to say, where you'll be able to go, yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, we could, because look, some of the conspiracy shit is true. We'll be like, yeah, that stuff's true, and then we will work our way up to, get the hell out of my house, Aunt Martha. You are never invited to a family dinner again. So we'll work our way through. To, yeah, that's interesting. We should look into that more because that could probably have happened. To, are you kidding me? I don't believe we come from the same genetic code. Please leave my house. So we'll go through those. And it'll be a nice little, like I said, the show, essentially a cheat sheet. So we'll do all that for you. Let's see here. On this day in 1910, we don't have good birthdays. We don't. Hey, happy birthday, Vin Baker. If you're an NBA fan, there you go. Chris Hardwick was born on this day in 1970. Well, that would make Chris Hardwick Chris Hardwick, the lesser Carson Daly, or did he surpass Carson Daly? I think he might have, the Nerdist, right? He's probably surpassed Carson Daly in some way. Chris Hardwick is 50 years old today. Let's see, who else do we got? Yeah, I got nobody. There's nobody. I don't know any of these people. You people might know these people, but I don't know these people. And get your own damn show if you want to celebrate people you don't know's birthday. Jonathan Peppelbahn was born in this day in 1980. Pitcher. Let's see who else. Justin Turner born on this day in 1984. That's it. This is not a good day for birthdays. This is not a good day. All right. So there you go. Let's see what else this is all the maintenance that we do before we get into the trending topics. Try and just get you up to speed on anything that's important that happened today. It was some like Iran-Contra thing that happened today, but I won't go into all that. Do we really? We don't need to go into all that. Let's talk about what today is the day of. We like to do that, don't we? Yes, today is the National Day of... Let's find out. Yesterday it was like some bullshit cranberry relish day. Like, come on, man. Here we go. Yes, yesterday there was only one. Today we've got three. Today we've got three. Today, the 23rd of November, is National Espresso Day. Folks, say it with me. I had to look. Did you see? I had to look. I had to make sure that I was saying it right because I'm an idiot too. Espresso. It's Espresso Day. It's not espresso. Can I get some espresso? It's not express like espresso. It's not espresso. It's Espresso Day. And again, this is where we get it. I think espresso is the little one, right? They give you the little tiny thimble cup and you go, whoop. It's sort of like Red Bull before there was Red Bull. It's like super highly concentrated caffeine in a tiny little cup and you drink it down. It's hot. I don't know. I don't like it. Well, I mean, I don't know if I like it. Here's what I do know. I try not to be pretentious, so I don't know that I've ever truly had espresso because it seems like a very pretentious thing. Sugar-free Red Bull. If I need something like that, sugar-free Red Bull. I'm not going to do espresso. I'm not going to pay $8 for like 3 ounces of liquid. It's just not going to be something I'm going to do. Today is also, yesterday was National Cranberry Relish Day, which I went off on because remember, the only cranberry is the cranberry that comes from a can. It's gelatinous. You slice it up nice. Put it on a turkey sandwich. It's delicious. Probably all kinds of terrible things in there, but you know what those terrible things do? They make the shit delicious. So you take the good with the bad, right? Did I almost just sing the Facts of Life song? I did in my head, just so you know. I'm currently singing, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the Facts of Life. That's what's going on in my head. And now that's what's going on here in this room for you people. National Eat a Cranberry Day today. Yesterday was National Cranberry Relish Day. Today is National Eat a Cranberry Day. Don't do that. Cranberries are garbage. Cranberries are just those little stupid things. They're like the Red Bull of you know what cranberries are? Here's what cranberries are. Cranberries are the smint of fruit. They're just these tiny little things, and you bite into them, and you're like, whoa, that's a whole lot of flavor for something so small. I think that's terrible. That's why, again, if you're going to do anything with cranberries, it's got to be the cranberry in the can. It's got to be the nice little gelatinous, rounded cranberry in a can. You chop it up nicely. Mad scientists and people who don't give a shit about what you're putting into your system have worked very hard to create the balance of delicious cranberry flavor and high fructose corn syrup, I'm guessing. I don't know. Whatever that is, that's the only acceptable cranberry. So today is National Eat a Cranberry Day. But again, the smint of fruit. You don't need that in your life. It's also National Cashew Day. I can get behind that. I like a cashew. Are cashews the fancy mints? Or the fancy nuts? No, those are macadamias. Macadamias are the fancy nuts. Cashews are like what? Like the Toyota Corolla of nuts? Is that kind of like what they are? They're not peanuts. Peanuts is the, What are we talking about? The Chevy Cruze of nuts, the entry level nut, right? That's what a peanut is. And then you progressively get to the better levels, and the Mercedes Benz of nuts being the macadamia. So I'm guessing the cashew would be what, like the Toyota Corolla, a little more expensive than a peanut, a little bit more going on there, a little bit more flavor. I like a cashew. As a matter of fact, I'm the guy that when you open a can of mixed nuts, not when you open it, but when you lift the lid because it's already been open, because I've already been there. When you open the can of mixed nuts and you look in there and you're shaking it around, and all they have left are those big giant toe-looking things that racists have a name for, but I won't call them that. The big giant toe-looking things, and then there's just some peanuts, and there's some weird shit, but somebody has picked through all the cashews. That's me. I'm the guy. I've picked through all the cashews and pecans, and now you've got mixed nuts still, but they're like the lame-ass mixed nuts. So enjoy that. All right, let's do this. How about a moment of joy? Huh? Right? We like that. This is a fun one. This will be a fun one. Now, do you like it? Let me ask you a question. And don't all respond at once. Do you like AC/DC? I do. I like AC/DC. I think AC/DC is fun. So here's a little something. All right. So here's today's moment of joy. These are a couple of dudes who have figured out a way how to make an AC/DC hit song in a matter of seconds. Should we listen and see if it's a hit song? I think we should. I like AC/DC, but come on, let's be honest. It's not like really difficult, high-level stuff. It's just, you've been drinking beer all night, and now an AC/DC song has come on, and now you just feel like, I don't know what, you're 15 again? That's basically what AC/DC is to me. And I like them, don't get me wrong. And I can sing like AC/DC. So here you go. Let's see this.
Here's how to make an AC/DC track in 30 seconds. First, you need drums.
Okay.
Then you need bass.
Okay.
Then you need guitar. All you need to know are 3 chords: A, D, and G. Put them together in any order.
Okay.
And do your best impression of Marge Simpson. What's that? Look out! Dog on the road!
Okay. All right, there you go. There's your moment of joy. That was pretty good, wasn't it? Can we do it again? Let's do it again, because I like the random lyrics. What's that? Look out, dog on the road. That is a total AC/DC lyric.
Here's how to make an AC/DC track in 30 seconds. First, you need drums. Then you need bass. Then you need guitar. All you need to know are 3 chords: A, D, and G. Put them together in any order.
Yeah.
And do your best impression of Marge Simpson. What's that? Look out! Dog on the road! Look out! Dog on the road!
It's an AC/DC song. Sounds like AC/DC to me. Why not? All right, there you go. That's it. That's your moment of joy. That was fun. Aren't you in a good mood now? All right, good. I'm glad you're in a good mood. All right, this is the part of the show where we like to just see what's happening. Again, not entirely sure we'll get the full 2 hours, because the kid is running around out there. The dog is running around out there. Uncle E is still not home. Uncle E is gallivanting. Excuse me. I had a thing last night. So last night was a bit non-traditional around these parts. Uncle E, the master of the 1%er compound, he's out gallivanting, jet setting, whatever it is you want to do. He's running around with his family. He's got they're down in Austin. They went to a Stones concert again on Saturday night. Imagine those Stones tickets are like, he's just going to Stones concerts. It's like, I would have to save for a year to like get really shitty seats at one Stone concert. You know, so this guy is like, he's going like front row, like in Dallas, and then on. Hey, no hate. Love you. Enjoy your life. You've earned it. But that's what he's doing. He's down there in Austin. He's having fun. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's got his kid with him. He's down there. They're doing water parks. So God bless. So he's not here at the One Percenter compound. So last night, and this is how the show got canceled last night. I feel I owe you an explanation. Show gets Pillow Talk show every Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m., except when stuff like this happens. So last night, I am making spaghetti for my kid. We're making the spaghetti. We're hanging out in the big house because why not? Like I said, they're not here. So we're pretty much just living over there. He's in the game room. He's playing Madden or Red Dead Redemption or whatever the hell it is he's playing over there on the PlayStation 5. He's also got the Oculus thing, the weird helmet. So the kid is just like wandering around the house playing a game and it's weird. I don't get kids today. I don't get it. And I want to do that, but I'm afraid I won't understand it. And then I'll look stupid in the eyes of my 12-year-old. So he's doing that. I'm cooking spaghetti, phone rings. And hey, it's James Parker, ladies and gentlemen. James Parker from New Orleans is on my phone. And I'm like, hey, James Parker, how are you? Well, what are you doing? What's going on in your world today? And he's like, well, I'm in Dallas. I go, why didn't you tell me you were in Dallas? I had no idea you were in Dallas. And he's like, hey, did you guys eat yet? Because he knew I was with my kid. And I go, yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm making spaghetti. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I was going to pick something up to eat, and I thought maybe we could hang out tonight, which I so appreciate. I not that he wanted to hang out. I appreciate the way he asked. A normal person, James isn't normal. A normal person would call and go, oh, so I'm in town and I'm not doing anything. You know what I mean? They'd be like real bitchy and wimpy about it. Like, so what are you doing tonight? They'd like beat around the bush. No, not James. James is direct. Hey, so I'm in the neighborhood. Haven't seen you in a long time. We do this show every night. How about I come over and just hang out? And I was like, absolutely, come over and hang out. Come on, man. Come on over and hang out. As a matter of fact, I'm making some spaghetti. If you would like to eat spaghetti with us, you are more than welcome to join us for dinner. So James Parker came over last night, and he had dinner with us. And then we started watching TV, the three of us, me, James, and the boy. James and the boy were playing video games. And then the boy was like, I'm tired of hanging out with you old people. I'm going to go back to the guest house. I'm going to go do my own thing. So the kid left. And then James and I, we just sat on the couch, talked, caught up, drank a whole lot of Uncle E's whiskey. We drank whiskey last night, and I don't normally drink, but apparently James does. So, went with James. And so we did that. And we watched a couple of comedy specials. It was just a late night. We were there till like 2:00 in the morning. But that's the reason why we didn't do a show. We didn't do a show because James came over unexpectedly, and he wanted to do a show. He's like, we should do a show. And I go, I can't because the kid's over in the guest house, and then you're here, and it would just be So that's why we didn't do a show. But it was nice to see James. Oh, he also spent the night. Now this was a little I gave him credit for being really direct about, hey, can I come over? Which I loved. And he did. He came over. But then while we were sitting on the couch, you start to wonder, like, when is this going to wrap up? Like, is he going to turn into the guest that wouldn't leave? The old Belushi bit from Saturday Night Live? What's happening here? So James, I say to him, so what time you got to wake up in the morning? Yeah. Now who's beating around the bush? Now I'm the one beating around. I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, maybe I'd like to go to bed. My kid's over in the guest house. Need to go check on him. And he goes, I don't have to be at work until 2:00. So he's doing the fill-in radio show on U.S. Radio Air Networks. I don't know, one of these stations. I have no idea. So that's here in Dallas. And I go, oh, well, where are you sleeping tonight? And he goes, well, I was going to drive back to Tyler, which is like 2.5 hours away, right? Tyler from Dallas. He's in Highland Park. He's like, he's drinking whiskey. He wasn't going to drive anywhere. He was going to sleep in his car, worst case scenario. So I said to him, I go, what do you mean you're going to drive? You don't drive. Why didn't you say something? I go, come on, man. This is the One Percenter compound. We have beds. We have rooms. This place is set up for stuff like that. Go ahead. Have your pick of rooms. And so he slept over last night, which was nice. Although we had a problem with the dog. Oh, my God. I love this dog. I love CeeLo. And by the way, for you folks out there, it's not CeeLo like CeeLo Green. Just to make me crazy. It's not that. It's not that CeeLo. We just pronounce it that way because we're gringos. It's Cielo. Cielo is the dog's name. Cielo, like heaven or sky in Spanish. Cielo. But we just call her CeeLo because we're a bunch of gringos. And then everybody thinks we're talking about CeeLo Green. So James comes in, he sits on the couch. We're like, okay, let's see how the dog is with the new person. And the dog was just a dick from the get-go. The dog was just a dick. The dog was like, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. These are my people. I think you're a threat to my people. I don't like you. So we had to confine the dog over to the guest house last night because she was not warming up to James Parker, which sucks so bad because this dog, let me show you who this dog really is as opposed to who, that nonsense. Look at this. Yeah, I'm going to show you this picture. I took this picture. I came over. The dog was confined to my kid's, my kid was sleeping in his bed and the dog again was confined with him. So I come in and look at this picture. Can you see this picture? This is how this vicious, mean animal who wants to kill everything that comes into its yard or its house. This is how the vicious, mean animal hangs out with my 12-year-old. Look at that. Look at that. They're just sleeping. That's how I walked in when I came back from the big house. I'm like, okay, guys, how is everything? Are you hanging out well? Is the dog comfortable? Look at that. How cute is that? They just fell asleep. My kid's chin fell asleep on the dog's nose, and the dog's nose snuggled in between his neck and chest. And okay, so there you go. Would you believe that dog is awful? That dog does not like people it sees for the first time and gets real aggressive, which is why those of you who listen to this show know that sometimes we have to break format and run down and get the dog locked up when the pool guy or the landscaper or the tree dude or whoever it is shows up unexpectedly because the dog has in and out rights. The dog has a doggy door. The dog goes from the big house, all patrols the compound, comes back up to the guest house, sits on his chair in the deck of the guest house, and just barks at everything and growls at everything and wants to kill everything. And, but then, it's nice. That's a dogs. We got to do something about the dog is the long and the short of it. Got to do something about training that dog not to be so aggressive with people it sees for the first time. Hates the mailman. Hates the mailman almost as much as it hates the UPS guy. And the only reason I think he hates the UPS and Amazon guys the most is because they seem to come more than the mailman. We're going to fix that. All right. A lot of stupid stuff trending today, especially when, we're not doing the political garbage. Doctor Who is trending. You guys watch Doctor Who? Do you guys like Doctor Who? I don't. Guys, I tried like 30 years ago. Like all them like interesting nerdy kids in my school were like, Doctor Who is so great. I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. It's on like Sunday night and it was really low budget. And no, that's why it's so great because it's low budget. Yeah, I can't get past that. I can't get past the robot that is just a guy wrapped in tinfoil. I can't get past that. I can't get past seeing the wires when the spaceships fly through. I just can't. I know it's campy. I know it's corny. I know that there is some bit of irony to enjoying Doctor Who, but yeah, I couldn't go there. But happy birthday, Doctor Who. The first ever episode in the series was aired on this day, November 23rd in, are you ready? 1963. That damn show probably has the same production values as it had in 1963. I can't imagine that it's any better. Let me look in the chat room for a second now. Let's see if am I nuts? Am I nuts about my take on Doctor Who, or am I missing something? Anybody like Doctor Who? Nobody's really mentioning Doctor Who. Well, hi, Michael. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Emily. Let's see. No, Jeff Glenn. The dog's name is not Cialis, which incidentally is the my top pick, my number one draft pick in the erectile dysfunction arena. Cialis, much better than Viagra. You know what the difference is? I'll tell you. If you haven't noticed yet, we're doing a stream of consciousness show because that's the only way that I can get myself the confidence to actually just do a show by myself. Cialis is the one that if you take it on a Friday night, you're good pretty much until Sunday. It's like it's time. Like it'll work longer. It'll work when you need it. Viagra, as I understand it, Viagra, you take it, and then 20 minutes later you're ready to go, and then it goes away pretty quick. That's Viagra. Cialis, you take it if you're ready to go, it's there for you. But then, like 12 hours later, if you're ready to go, it's there for you. 12 hours after that, if you're ready to go. Cialis is like, I think, a 2 to 3 day. So it's the weekend, the weekend pill. If you're not sure how things are going to go Friday, you think maybe you'll put the work in, and what didn't happen Friday will happen Saturday night. That's when you take the Cialis. You take the Cialis on Friday, just on the off chance that it might happen, but knowing that it might not. So, and then, for people who don't understand, it's not like you're walking around ready to go all the time. No, it's just there when you need it. That's all. You're flaccid. That's such a gross word, isn't it? You're that. And then when you need to be, it's like you're ready to go. And I do not have issues in that area. I have stated time and time again that for some reason I have a very low interest in that sort of thing these days. Not these days, actually. It's going on like 15 years. A very low interest in that sort of thing. And I do not have a problem. I'm not like a 70-year-old man. You judgmental bastards, stop it. I just, it's like I played baseball. So it's like when you're on the on deck circle and you're swinging like 3 bats, so that when you actually go up to the plate and you're swinging one, it feels like a lot. That's kind of the way I look at it. And I used to drink a lot. Whiskey dick. Let's be honest. That's, you don't want the embarrassing. Preemptive. It was a preemptive thing on my part. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's see here. So Doctor Who, happy birthday to Doctor Who. That's trending. What else is trending today? Ooh, did you see this? Ooh, did you see this is actually a big piece of news, but because it's because we have a president that people don't like, this is probably going to be politically divisive. So I'm going to leave absolutely all of the political angles on this out. But the United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve is trending. It's trending alongside OPEC. Now, do you know what OPEC is? We hear about OPEC. Do we really know what OPEC is? OPEC is the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. I could look that up, but I feel very confident that that's what it is. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Companies, and it's a council. It's a group. Okay. Damn pop-ups. It's a council where the big, not even like the biggest. Yeah, actually, it is the biggest. But the major oil producing companies, they all get together and they agree on a price so that we don't have oil wars, and we don't have actual wars developing because of the oil wars. So OPEC sets the price, and then people like the United States and China, we all buy our oil from this organization. We're their biggest customers. They can't do it without us. And oil prices are going up. Is it 65 a barrel? Did I see this morning? Or is it more than that? It's probably more than that, but whatever. But you see, the United States of America, we make our own oil too, right? But we don't use our own oil. We don't. We buy oil. We buy oil from OPEC in order to contribute to the global economy. That's part of our role. We are the biggest consumer nation in the world. We buy shit. We use the most oil. We are the ones that, so we produce all our own oil, but we put it in what we call the strategic oil reserve. So we've got in other words, like if there was a huge war was break out and you couldn't get oil out of the Middle East or Venezuela. Do you know Venezuela is the number 1 oil producer in the world? You'd think it's Saudi Arabia. It's not. It's actually Venezuela, which, is weird because Venezuela is close to us. It seems like we should be better friends with them, but we're not. We're not friends with them at all. Okay, so OPEC sets the price, and OPEC's been dicking around lately. So the current, I'll just call it the current administration that half the country hates, They are saying that, okay, it's time for us to jump into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. We're going to start pumping our own oil. We're going to use the stuff that we've been saving up for the last billion years, and we're going to drop the prices at the pump because we're not going to allow the OPEC nations to determine how far we can travel for the holidays. So that's basically the idea, where we're going to try and get the gas prices down by tapping into our own strategic oil reserve, which, see, here's what in the past, that was never something that we wanted to do for two reasons. One, we wanted to be a big consumer, a big buyer on the global economic oil markets. So we basically helped set up the OPEC. By the way, do you know that OPEC is based? You know where OPEC is based? Vienna, Austria. OPEC is based in Vienna, Austria. They're not even an OPEC nation. The OPEC nations are like Saudi Arabia and Iraq and Iran and Qatar, all of those like nations over there. And then you got like Venezuela, and I think there's a couple places in Africa too. But Vienna, Austria is where OPEC is based. So we've never wanted to tip into our strategic oil reserve because the thinking has always been, oh, that's great, but when the bombs start to fall and we can't get our ships filled with oil over here, all transportation in this country is going to grind to a halt, and you're going to wish you had that strategic oil reserve. We've got so much of it. And now we're moving into a time when, let's say this happens in 20 years, where, OPEC blows up and now we need to dip into our strategic oil reserve. I got to believe that in 20 years, and this must be the metric that they're using here, we're going to be significantly more in the column of renewable energy sources by that. We're already moving that way. I mean, how important, at some point, we're going to be a completely green nation, and we're going to look down under our feet and we're going to be like, oh my God, we've got 50 trillion gallons of oil that we never used. So why not use it now? Why not use it now to sort of stimulate the American economy, get people moving again, get gas below. God, wouldn't gas be nice if gas was like, do you know what gas should be? Gas should be like 99 cents a gallon. That's what it should be. That's where we should be. Geez, do you think that would be a good political move if you could really drop the price of gas? Is that something that it's something I care about. I hate when I put in $10 worth of gas and only get like 2 gallons. It's terrible. All right, so here's the story really quick. President Joe Biden hopes to announce his decision to release oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve today during a speech at the White House. Officials tell CNN, but the timing of such a move is still contingent on other nations finalizing their agreements. So here's the thing. We're going to do it. We're going to do this, but we're not going to do it until China and somebody else, India. That's it. The United States has asked China, India, Japan, and South Korea to join the coordinated effort to release their reserves of crude oil. All the countries have the reserves. The Biden administration hopes such a move would help combat soaring gasoline prices and fears of inflation, or at least show the president is focusing on addressing what has become one of his steepest political challenges. All right. I don't care if it helps him. I really don't give a shit. Can we get gas below 280? That would be nice. Can we get gas to about 250, 230, something like that? I remember a couple of years ago, it was like as low as $2. I even think I saw one at $1.99, and that was up in Chicago. So you here in Texas, you probably saw 10, 15 cents even lower than that. All right. So there's that story. So let's hope that happens. I hope that happens. I really do. I need cheap gas, man. And I know all you Uber drivers and food delivery people and all the like, I know that you want it too. So that's why Strategic Petroleum Reserve, or OPEC, are both trending today. Oh boy, look at this. This is a crazy one. I'm gonna freeball this one. I'm gonna really work through this. I saw the story. I know what it's about, but I haven't really read it. I mean, I guess I've got years and years of thoughts on this. So let's just try and freeball through this. Guess what's trending? Thomas Jefferson statue. So there's a Thomas Jefferson statue in City Hall at New York, and they took it away. They took it away. They tore it down. They didn't tear it down. What they did was they boxed it up very nicely, and they moved it to the New York Historical Society. But it is no longer a centerpiece in New York City City Hall. The statue of Thomas Jefferson. One of the great founding fathers of this country. Whatever. What was he? The third president? I don't know. Look at me. I'm desperately like searching this story so that I can pretend like I knew that off the top of my head. I do believe he was the third president. Thomas Jefferson is no longer in the room where it happens. Art handlers packed up an 884-pound statue of Jefferson in a wooden crate Monday after a mayoral commission voted to banish the likeness of the nation's third president from the city. Third president, I was right. It's resided there for nearly 2 centuries. Why? Well, why do you think? It's not because he wore a ill-advised ponytail. He had slaves. He had a lot of slaves. Yeah, Jefferson had like hundreds of slaves. All men are created equal, but also, I mean, that's a bit of a And here's the thing: we like to say, "Well, he was just a man of his time. People didn't know any better back then." Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They knew better back then. England had outlawed slavery. It's not like we hear the colonies, we had slaves. They'd outlawed slavery in Britain, and Jefferson still had them. So it's not like nobody ever went, "Hey, deep thinker Thomas Jefferson, why don't you kind of give this a thought? If all men are created equal, are you saying that they're not men? Answer that, Jefferson." So it's problematic. And I understand that it's problematic, but people are complicated. People are nuanced. There are a lot of things like, the example that people always say is that, I bet you Hitler's dog loved him. I bet you Hitler was very nice to his dog. I bet you there were people in Hitler's life that went, he's kind of funny. I kind of like the way that people are complicated. You can be really terrible, awful people. Al Capone, the neighbor kids and the neighbors who lived in Al Capone's neighborhood in Chicago, my grandpa included. My grandpa was a little kid who lived in Al Capone's neighborhood. And Al Capone was a hell of a nice guy. He was a wonderful man, because, people are complicated. Thomas Jefferson had a lot of really good ideas. I would argue that he just wasn't consistent with a number of them, including the all men are created equal thing. Oh man, Mr. Popular. What's going on here? I don't know what that's about. But here's also, why isn't the phone ringing through? Can you guys hear me all right? The phone should be ringing through, and I don't know why it's not. Let's try this again. Oh, man, I'm in this. Hold on. Huh. That's weird. I don't know. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't mean to get distracted there. All right, so how do I feel about the Jefferson statue being taken out? Well, last night, James, I told the story about how James came over. James and I were watching on Netflix the latest Michael Che stand-up special. Michael Che from Saturday Night Live. He does the news. He's the black guy. We're watching the latest Michael Che stand-up comedy. And he said something. And he said, "I understand why white people love the national anthem." And he said, it's because it reminds them of how America used to be. And he said he understands that. And then he said, "I also understand why black people may not like the national anthem, because it reminds them of how America used to be." And I thought, I get that. I get it. It's a perspective. You have to step outside of what you're conditioned and what you believe and who you are. And all of that is based on, probably to a great degree in this country, the color of your skin. I mean, I, as a white person, I had a completely different worldview and a completely different experience growing up than maybe a black kid did. And you have to allow a little bit of understanding for that. So in the issue with Thomas Jefferson, with his statue being right there in City Hall, a city hall that theoretically represents everybody, even the descendants of people that Thomas Jefferson enslaved, I can kind of get why, yeah, maybe that's not the best place for it. Maybe a guy who owned slaves, again, in a time where people knew better. People knew better. It wasn't just like, oh, he's a man of his time. He didn't know. No, people knew better. And again, he's the guy who said all men are created equal. So I can understand why there could be a conversation about let's not really glorify this man. Although the actions, like I said, they're just one story, one chapter in the story of Thomas Jefferson. People are complicated. Remember Hitler, the dog liked him. We already went over this. But I get it. I get it why it could be some people would go, you know what? Fuck that guy. I don't give a shit about his ponytail. I don't give a shit about the Declaration of Independence. That's all good stuff. But he had 400 slaves. He had 400 people that he kept in bondage. So, I understand why some people might be like, fuck that guy. Now, what do? Do you tear it down and do you stomp on it and we are going to erase this piece from the American history? No, you can't do that either. He's too important to America. So they moved it to the Historical Society. I'm fine with that. But hey, man, we better watch who we give statues to because, as I said, people are complicated. We're going to put up statues of people. New people going to get statues. Michael Jordan's got a statue in front of the Chicago Stadium. It's not the Chicago Stadium anymore, but whatever they call it, the United Center. Michael Jordan's got a statue. Michael Jordan's a dick. Michael Jordan is a dick. And like 100 years from now, are we going to be like, yeah, well, Michael Jordan, he did this or he did that. People are complicated. Just giving statues to people, glorifying people for all eternity. It's a little troubling. It's a difficult task. You're very, very rare. You're going to have, all right. So only statues of Mother Teresa. Is that what we're going to do? We're just going to only Mother Teresa and Dave Grohl and Tom Hanks. But some people think Tom Hanks is a pedophile who produced child porn out of his garage there in Sherman Oaks, wherever. Those people are crazy. Oh, we'll get into the crazy people. Remember, folks, coming up on today's show, we're going to do a breakdown of all the insane conspiracy theories that you're going to probably deal with at Thanksgiving dinner. I'll give you a little cheat sheet on how to navigate them. So there you go. All right. So statues of Mother Teresa and Dave Grohl for everyone. Every city hall. That's it. Only the cool people who are unimpeachable. Paul Rudd gets a statue right there in Washington, D.C., a 1,000-foot tall statue of Paul Rudd shaking hands with Dave Grohl. Springsteen, can I get a Springsteen one? I mean, just for me, since this is my idea. And, he may have some shortcomings as well. We don't know. I've never seen him. You can't produce him, so let's pretend he doesn't. Can I get a Springsteen statue somewhere? It doesn't have to be as big as the 1,000-foot Dave Grohl and Paul Rudd statues in Washington, but maybe, maybe Springsteen. Maybe we remove Lincoln. Nah, Lincoln can stay, right? Lincoln seems all right. Historically, the sun has kind of shined on Lincoln, seeming to be a good dude. Although, man, there's a lot of bad shit about Lincoln, too. All right, remove the Lincoln Memorial. Let's remove the big chair where he's sitting there in judgment of all of us. And let's just put Bruce. Let's just put Bruce there. Let's just put a microphone, a giant Bruce Springsteen with a microphone. We're done. We don't have to worry about these things anymore. So the Thomas Jefferson statue has been taken out of the New York City Hall, and it's being moved to a historical society. See, I'm consistent on this. The statues of who is it? Who's the guy? Jefferson Davis and Tommy Lee Jones. Is Tommy Lee Jones a Confederate general? He should be. Now you know who I'm thinking of. General Lee. That's it. So like the Jefferson Davis and the General Robert E. Lee statues and all that shit, I would say, remove them because one, they took up arms against the United States of America. They trained men to kill people who had, flags of our country on their uniforms. which I honestly don't know to be true. I don't know. Did the Union Army have American flag? You get my point, though. I mean, there were American military men who were fired upon and killed by this other group of people who didn't want to be a part of America. So that's problematic. So I don't like having the Jefferson Davis and all these statues up and all that. We got to think it through. We got to think it through. What did these guys actually do? That was traitorous. That was treason. Those guys committed treason against the United States of America. I'm sorry to all my Texas friends. That's just how the dice shaked out. They lost. Had they won, it would be different. But they didn't. And so now they're the guys that lost trying to take over America. But we don't tear those down. We don't burn them. They're important people in the history of this country. They belong in museums. They belong in places where we can go and actually learn about why at some point there was a statue made of these people. What did they do? You just put it in a park somewhere and people are like, yep, that's the big giant bronze guy. Not sure what he did, but look at him on that horse. We don't learn anything. You take all of that stuff and just put it all in a museum, which is kind of what they're doing in New York, which I'm fine with. But it is also interesting, though, the people who are triggered by this, the people who, because they're only triggered because, now I got to rethink how I go through life, recalculating the programming. I get it. It's different. But again, Thomas Jefferson, who I love, man. Jefferson's takes on Christianity are just chef's kiss. The Jefferson Bible. If you ever have an opportunity to peruse a copy of the Jefferson Bible, Thomas Jefferson took the Bible and basically just eliminated all the silly stuff. He eliminated and he lived for 10,000 years and his children lived for 10. Thomas Jefferson went through the Bible and just created basically a manual for living like a decent, good, Jesus-following Christian. And, all the garbage is gone. All the silly judgments that, you can't really prove was ever said or ever done. All of that stuff is gone. The Jefferson Bible. He also owned slaves. People are complicated. You see, people are complicated. I don't know. What am I doing here? Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is trending today because it's Tuesday. I guess that would make sense. Giving Tuesday is a day where charities I used to work for charities. Giving Tuesday is a day where charities basically all band together and remind you that in this holiday season, maybe you could give a couple shekels to something that you care about. Think about what you care about, and then think about maybe helping somebody in some way. That's what Giving Tuesday is all about. But bear with me. So you guys remember the movie Night Shift? Remember Billy Blaze? Remember the Michael Keaton character? I got an idea. You feed the tuna fish mayonnaise. Instant tuna salad. Billy Blaze, a lot of ideas. I got a lot of ideas. One of the ideas that I had years ago when I was working with charities was an app or a website. I don't know. I need like a smart computer dude to tell me exactly how to pull this off. But what if... And I thought about this because of all of the garbage, nickel and dime bullshit that we spend every day, right? So you got Netflix. It's like $11 a month or whatever it is. I don't know. But there's a percentage. It's, what is it? 30 cents a day, something like that. You know what I mean? It's like pennies a day. What if, and would people do this? I would hope that people would do this. What if there was like an app or an organization that every month took $10 out, the way you pay for Netflix, the way you pay for Hulu, the way you pay for any number of bullshit that just serves to only, in the moment entertain you? What if you could say, okay, since I'm doing all of this, I could probably afford $10 a month. So it's recurring. It's like every month it'll take $10 out of your debit card or $10 out of your. But then each morning when you woke up, you either received, this is where I need the computer guy. You get like a text or you get like an email or whatever. And what it says is, hey, thank you. And basically that money is going to go to charity, right? But every day you get this note that says, hey, Here is a list of people that need help today. Here is a list of charities that you could donate your 20 cents a day or whatever it is to. And then you look at them, they'd be little boxes, and you decide in the moment. You're like, do I want to help the starving kid in Africa? Do I want to help the, whatever organization? No political organizations, no garbage like that. Do I want to help this? And then every day you start your day with your coffee and you get moment of joy. See, I try to make myself every morning have something to be really happy about or something to put me in a good mood. So every morning you're drinking your coffee, you open your email and you're like, okay, so do I want my 20 cents today to go to this, or that? And you click the box and it goes. And it's every day. Every day you can start your day by going, I supported this today. I supported these people. Somebody needed help and I had a little extra, so I gave it to them. And it's not, you don't even have to worry about how much. You're just $10. $10 a month is taken out. And every day a percentage of that $10 is donated to a charity that you decide. And there could be all kinds of charities. We can have a whole list if you wanted to look at the full list, or every morning you just get like 3 or 4 to choose from and you just X the box that you want to help that day. Boom. But would people do that? Is that the kind of thing that would make people? I would totally do that. That would be so easy. You don't have to go to the website. You don't have to pull out your card. You don't have to, it's just every day. Okay, what am I? I'm going to be a good person today. Who am I going to help? And it's 20 cents, or whatever. I don't know. I haven't done the math. Like I said, I'm just the Billy Blaze that comes up with the idea. I would hope that people would do that. I would think that would be what I've actually pitched this and talked about this to people, because I need money to get started. Hey, you want to invest in my charity idea that is not going to make anybody rich? Guess what the response from rich people that I've approached with this was? Nope. Nope. You mean we're not going to make any? We'll make some money. I mean, we'll make some, we'll make some. There'll be money to be made. Benevolent capitalism is not something that I'm averse to. But you know what benevolent capitalism? Benevolent capitalism is the idea that you can be a capitalist. You can make money, and you can make as much money as you could possibly make. But what you're producing and what you're creating is benevolent. It helps. It does something good for the greater world. It's, I guess without being divisive, you can get into like people who are in green energies and stuff like that could claim some degree of benevolent capitalism. It's because, look, yes, we are making money because we are Americans and we believe in the capitalist system. But while we're making money, why not making money doing something good? I think that my app on this Giving Tuesday would be a beautiful example of benevolent capitalism. And I promise that as CEO of this giving app company, I wouldn't take more. I wouldn't take more at any. I wouldn't take it because you got to run the company. So you need to have certain money. Certain amounts of that money need to go to running a company. I wouldn't take more than 100 grand. 100 grand. 100 grand. Look at all the good I'm doing. 100 grand, any crazy amount of money. It's the amount of money that somebody who's doing good work should be rewarded with. 100 grand isn't a Lamborghini. 100 grand is maybe like an entry-level BMW, and you get a decent apartment, or whatever, a decent condo, whatever. It's not crazy. It's not like Wounded Warriors. You ever look at Wounded Warriors? Dude's got a 12-car garage that is filled with sports cars. He's flying around on private jets. All I'm saying is that benevolent capitalism is something that I believe in. But yeah, nobody liked that idea. Nobody liked the idea of the giving app. All right, so Giving Tuesday is trending today. Urban Dictionary is also trending. And that's because here's what it says on that one. People take to Urban Dictionary, a crowdsourced, what could go wrong there? A crowdsourced online dictionary for slang words and phrases to discover what definitions are for their names. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I really, I don't give a shit about that. Hold on, folks. Sorry. Trying to fix something here. Yeah. Let's see what else is trending. Oh, the Grammys are trending. Oh, the Grammys. I had so much fun at the Grammys. We used to go to the Grammys every year. We told you this story. The Grammys is where I met my good friend Kim K. The Grammys are trending because I guess the Grammy nominees have come out, and I don't know, man. I don't know any of them. I don't know. Here's the bad thing about the Grammys. The Grammy nominees were released. I want to say maybe about 11 o'clock our time, and as soon as the Grammy nominees were released, all the trending platforms were bullshit from that point forward. It started out today with, some good stuff. Giving Tuesday, the Jefferson statue, some of the other things that we're going to get into. It started out really good. And then the Grammys were released, and everything that was trending was Taylor, Casey, Doja, BTS. Everybody that got nominated all of a sudden started dominating the dance. I don't know any of these people. I don't want to be bogged down in that nonsense. So a little spin on my Grammy experience. God, I love the Grammys. I saw what I deem to be the greatest live performance of my life, and it was only half live at the Grammys. It was when, do you remember when Madonna came back? It's probably like 10, 12 years ago at this point. Madonna came back, and then do you remember that like animated group Gorillaz? Do you remember Gorillaz, the animated group? The Grammy show opened with a surprise performance by Madonna, and her backing band were the Gorillaz. But it was all like, what is that thing? That like Disney thing where they're like holograms. It was like holograms of the Gorillaz, and Madonna was dancing with. Oh my God, was that a cool performance? Like I said, only half live because it was like half hologram and half Madonna. I saw that at the Grammys. That was like the greatest performance. I'm not even like a crazy Madonna fan, but man, that was an insane performance. But my big takeaway from my Grammy experience, which was a few years in a row that we went, was that's where me and Kim Kardashian became good friends. And I thought I would take this opportunity not to rehash the story of the time Kim Kardashian explained to me the difference between red and green salsa, which I will never forget. I mean, I'll never forget that Kim Kardashian explained to me specifically, directly, just me and her one-on-one, teacher student. She explained to me the difference. I will never forget her taking the time to explain to me the difference between red and green salsa. That's what I mean. I'll never forget her taking the time. I forgot the difference between red and green salsa, though. She's like explaining shit, and the whole time I'm just looking at her going, keep talking, beautiful lady. Just keep talking. Like a dummy. I'm just like, Actually, see this? This is me looking up to Kim Kardashian because for some reason in my head, she is a 7-foot tall Amazon woman who is just the depiction of pure natural female perfection. And I'm looking up to her as but it was more like this because Kim Kardashian is very small. She's very small, but somehow in my mind, I've built her up. Yes, Miss Kardashian, please explain to me the difference between green and red salsa. And I also say that during our interview, the reason that she was so comfortable going to the food line with me, and by the way, she didn't go to the food line with me. See, here's the thing at the Grammys. We do this big, it's like Super Bowl week. If you remember radio stations, they used to go to the Super Bowls. I don't know if they still do it anymore. And they'd be like, it's a thing called Radio Row. A whole bunch of radio people, and then they dump a whole bunch of celebrities, and the celebrities go from radio station to radio station, and they talk to, a bunch of people at once. So Kim Kardashian was doing that. And she came, and she sat with us, and we had a nice little conversation with her. And then it was I have proof that it was a nice conversation. It was a nice conversation. And then we had Stuart Copeland of the police. Kim got up and left, and she's like, okay, bye. And she gets up, and I'm like, oh, hey, Stuart Copeland, let's get him to sit down. So Stuart Copeland sits down. And before we did the interview with Stuart Copeland, I turned to my partner, Kelly. I remember going, ooh, they're putting the food out because they put out this big spread of food. Good food too, because it's celebrities. You're feeding Grammy artists and musicians and rock stars and celebrities and all that kind of stuff, and a bunch of DJs from around the country. So the food is really good. It's like lobsters and steaks and all kinds of just a mess, like the world's best. What is that place? Not Cracker Barrel. Golden Corral, like the world's best Golden Corral that they set up. So remember, Kim gets up and leaves. Stuart sits down. I turn to my partner. I say, oh, they're putting the food out. And she's like, ooh, okay. She didn't eat. My partner didn't eat. She would like she'd have this like giant buffet spread in front of her, and she'd have like just this pretty little salad. She would just like, okay, I'm gonna get some ham hocks because apparently they're pandering to the hip hop crowd at this one. So I got up. Stuart Copeland sat down, and as soon as I said they put the food out, Stuart Copeland said, "Oh, I'm hungry. Can we eat first?" And we're like, okay, well, as long as you come back and do the interview with us. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's go get some food. So we jump up and we go and we get in line. So it's me and Stuart Copeland. Police, by the way, are one of my favorite bands. So this is like a crazy moment for me before it gets even crazier. So me and Stuart Copeland, we're like walking up, and then in my head I'm going, okay, don't ask him about any police stuff. Just be a cool, normal guy. We're gonna talk about food. He wants some food. So we're standing in line, and now there's a line of celebrities and other DJs and stuff like that. It's starting to build. So we gotta wait with our plates. You know how it goes. You stand there with your plates and you wait, and the guy's cutting stuff. And I'm standing with my plate, and Stuart Copeland is behind me, and we get in line right behind Kim. Now remember, Kim and I, we just finished an interview. And I just said, I guess to Stuart, I said, I can never, I don't know, what do I want? Do I want red or green? I don't know the difference between red or green salsa. And Kim K, she was dipping in on the conversation. She wasn't even a part of the conversation. She just felt so comfortably with your boy here that she was like, oh, so red and green. And I like, here's proof positive. I found this picture. I said I had this picture, and now I'm going to prove to you this picture. Here is when I knew that I had Kim Kardashian. This is when I knew she gave me the universal sign of you and me are same. You and me are same. She gave me this. I said something and she goes, I know, right? I got that picture. I can prove it. You think, Pugs, you're full of shit. No, look at that. Look at her. Look at Kim right there. Look at her. Look at her looking at me. She's looking at me. She's eating candy. You can see we got a little candy dish there. So she was like, she was obviously hungry because she bolted to the food line as soon as they opened it up. That's how we got behind her. So she's snacking on our candy, and I'm saying something. I got my hand out. I'm like, no, Kim, here's where they're all wrong, and you are right. And she's like, I know. You're like the most awesome guy ever. I know, right? So don't tell me and Kim aren't besties. I do love this. I love how my partner could give a shit. She's like, yeah, this is, you're just fanboying over a really pretty girl. So I'm going to let you flirt with her for about 20 minutes. But for those of you who say it, by the way, don't think that I don't pull that picture out all the time whenever my son thinks I'm not cool. I know Kim Kardashian. And my kid has no idea because he's young. Like, he has no idea how these things work. I met her once, so I'm like her best friend in his world. So he's probably telling you. But in that moment, you know what? I wish for a lot of things in this world. I wish for a lot of people who are going through difficult times to have something good happen to them. I wish for people that, are just sort of in their default mode of hatred and anger to, sort of have something a little bit better befall them. But mostly, I wish that each and every one of you can get someone like Kim Kardashian to go, I know, right? That was a feeling of accomplishment. I ain't accomplished much in my life, but boy, oh boy, getting Kim K to agree that I'm awesome was pretty much the best one. All right, what else is trending here? Casey, we should talk a little about this because both Taylor and Casey, we're already talking about the Grammys. So Casey Musgrave is trending and Taylor Swift is trending. And you know what these two girls remind me of? Because do not get me wrong, I love both of them. I love Taylor for certain reasons. Taylor brings a little something to the party. Taylor's got her own vibe. Taylor's pretty great. Taylor Swift, she's pretty great. She's I don't know about her music. I mean, it's all like teenage girl. I'm talking about the whole aura, the way all right, she's hot. That's what I'm saying. She's hot. She's beautiful. She dresses well. She seems to be articulate and kind, and she does all of that. So that's really it. I couldn't name one Taylor Swift song. Yes, I could. Shake It Off. I like that one. Shake it off. Well, I just sang Taylor Swift's Shake It Off to the melody of the Cars' Shake It Up. Mash up. Any of you creatives out there want to give that a try? So I like Taylor, but man, I also love Casey. I love Casey Musgraves. Casey Musgraves' music. I actually like. Like Casey Musgrave actually writes stuff, but you know what they remind me of right now in the world of crossover country? Because they both, to a degree, started out, as like essentially country artists, and now both Casey Musgrave and Taylor Swift are undeniably pop artists. They remind me of whenever you would see in maybe cartoons or whatever, the devil and the angel. It was like an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. Like for me, it's Taylor Swift on one shoulder and Casey Musgraves on the other. Whereas like Taylor Swift is the girlfriend that you date and you don't really want to break up because look at her. You don't, but she's so irritating. She's too overly girly and says things like, "Oh, that's gross." But Casey Musgrave is like the girlfriend that gets just as excited as you do on Sundays to watch football, and she'll sit on the couch with you wearing a Cowboys jersey. Yeah, so it's kind of like two different. Now, Casey Musgrave is like the girl who can hang out with you and your friends when you're drinking, and that she may even do something like, oh, I don't know, try and burp the alphabet. Now, you don't want that going down in church, but if you're at a pub on a Saturday night, a girl who can burp the alphabet is occasionally pretty entertaining. I don't see Taylor Swift burping the alphabet. Also, Casey Musgraves is like that chick who maybe you remember her in high school or later, when the guys would be out, maybe you're at a backyard party and guys are like dip and chew or something like that. And there's always like one drunk girl that'll come up and go, I want to try it. And then she'll like take like some chew and she'll put it in her mouth and she'll be like, okay, what am I supposed to do? And she doesn't know how to spit. And it's hysterical. And you all laugh. Taylor Swift is not that girl. Taylor Swift is not the girl that's going to put a dip in just to try it. Casey Musgrave is. Casey Musgrave has probably done that. She's a Texas girl. She has probably at some point had a couple beers in her at a bonfire party and said, let me have some chew. Just different types of girl. I love them both. I don't know. But if I had to pick, I think I might actually go with, I'm not going to say. All right, what else is trending? So we had Casey and Taylor. Oh boy, look at this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one at all. Dollar Tree is trending. Yeah, we talked about the global economic peril that we're all death spiraling into. Fucking Dollar Tree, man. Dollar Tree. You know that I love the Dollar Tree. Anybody who listens to this show, y'all know that like Dollar Tree is my jam. Don't come at me with any Family Dollar bullshit. Don't come at me with any Dollar General garbage. I don't care. Those things, everything isn't $1 in those stores. You walk into welcome to Family Dollar, the store where you only think things cost $1. And then you walk into Family Dollar and it's like, okay, I'll take these aspirin. That'll be $3.50. $3.50? I thought this was a dollar store. No. So screw the Dollar General, screw the Family Dollar. Dollar Tree, bitches. Dollar Tree. Everything is $1. You can walk in. I'm like, I got $9. That means I can get 8 things and the rest will be for change. And you walk in with your little basket and you're like, there's one. And when you're in line and you only got so much that you wanted to spend there, you can literally just eyeball whatever you got in your thing. You're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's $8 plus the tax, $9. I'm getting all this for under $10. That's why Dollar Tree is awesome. And they also tend to be bigger. Dollar Trees tend to be bigger. So why is Dollar Tree trending? Because they're going to have to change their name. They're going to have to change their name. Dollar Tree is raising their prices 25%. 25%. Could you imagine if Chevy decided to raise their prices on cars 25%? Dollar Tree, everything at Dollar Tree is going to be $1.25 now. $1.25 Tree doesn't exactly have the same alliteration or rhyme to it, does it? Well, not the Dollar Tree has a ring to it, I guess is what I was trying to say. Yeah, they're gouging, man. They're gouging. 25%. Dollar Tree. Here's what's going on with Dollar Tree. If Dollar Tree is starting to feel a bit of a push, their profit margins are not what they once were because of inflation. Uh, Raise your prices 3 cents. 3 cents across the board will make up for any. But they're using the fact that everybody knows inflation is going up, and their calculus is it's just 25 cents. People, they won't even notice 25 cents. Won't even notice 25 cents. Are you kidding? Here's what I'm noticing. I'm noticing that you're making 25% more than you were before, when really inflation has probably only caused you a hit of what, 2-3%? So what is that? You are using inflation and the current state of things to increase your profit margins by 22%. That's what they're doing. They don't need to raise it 25% on all their shit. They're not losing 25% because of inflation on every item they sell. They're just not. That's untenable. They'd have been out of business a long time ago if that was actually happening. What they're doing is they're losing like 2 or 3% because of inflation. So they're going to recalculate. They're like, all right, let's get way out ahead of this. So that the next time we can really. Do you know that Five Below is changing to 10 Below? Do you like the Five Below? I like the Five Below. Five Below is like it's cleaner. You know, they got it's almost like walking into a Spencer's. Remember Spencer's, the mall store? You look, it was like, kind of had like a Studio 54 vibe. You know, like anything could happen in a Spencer's. You could buy weed in the back corner. Kids were stealing stuff. You know, you could just look at the posters. That Five Below has a very Spencer's kind of vibe. And I like Five Below because everything is below $5. Get it? See it? Five Below. There you go. Some things are even $3. Some things are even $2. But I enjoy Five Below. Five Below is also changing. Five Below is going to be 10 Below. That's a 50% increase in your margins. You are using the perilous state of the American economy and inflation awareness to your benefit. You capitalist dogs. Come on. Although, you know, I say this all the time. You know, this generation of people, we have the dollar store, we have the 99-cent store, the dollar stores, whatever they are. They used to be called dime stores. Those were dime stores back in the day. Everything's a dime. So the world changes. The world changes, and you know, we adapt or go home. That's basically it. That's what I say. Pugs, what do you say? I say we adapt or go home. All right, what else do we have here? I got a bunch of stuff here. All right, this bugs me. All right, you ready for something that bugs me? Yeah. I know. We're going to get into the breakdown of the deep state conspiracies and all the things you're going to hear about on Thanksgiving. That's coming up. We're going to end the show. As a matter of fact, if I don't get through all these other trending topics, we might go late today. Here I am starting off the show thinking that we may not even make 2 hours. Now I'm looking at the state of things and I'm going, you might get like 15 bonus minutes. Who knows? Who can say? Certainly not me. All right. How about this one? This is trending. Indulge me, okay? This is just for me. You people don't want it, then get the hell out. This one is all about me. As soon as I can find it. Oh man, no, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so Nagy. Nagy is trending. Nagy is the head coach of my Chicago Bears. Matt Nagy is the head coach. Oh, does he suck? Oh my God. I have been calling for 2 years. He broke Mitch Trubisky. He's gonna break Justin Fields. He seems like such a nice man. He seems like such a nice guy. He seems like the kind of guy you'd love to have be your neighbor. Maybe you'd even love to have him coach your kids. But I don't want him coaching my Chicago Bears. The guy doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, we had to run Mitch Trubisky, the number 2 draft pick, out of town because he just couldn't perform in Matt Nagy's offense. You know who else couldn't perform in Matt Nagy's offense? Sure, Mitch Trubisky, but also who we got? We got Andy Dalton, couldn't perform in his offense. We got Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP, couldn't perform in his offense. Who else we got? Who's the kid from South Lake Carroll? I can't remember his name. He couldn't perform it. Look, the dude has had like 10 quarterbacks in 3 years, and none of them could perform in his offense. So let's stop pretending like it's the players and look at the coach and go, dude, your offense is stupid. You are an Arena League quarterback. You are running Arena League influenced plays in the National Football League. Get the hell out of here. So Matt Nagy is about to be fired, if he hasn't already. We are awaiting some form of confirmation to know whether or not the Chicago Bears. Here's the story. The story that was floating around this morning is that Matt Nagy has been informed that he's going to be fired as head coach of the Chicago Bears after Thursday's game. What? Hey, Matt, we're gonna fire you, just so you know. But can you give up your Thanksgiving fly to Detroit and then watch your team lose to a team that hasn't won a game all season? Could you do that for us before we let the door hit you on the ass on the way out? Can that be something? I can't imagine. And that got out. I don't know that was supposed to get out, but someone in Chicago reported that. And now I think the team is a little bit embarrassed. And so maybe we'll get rid of him today. But here, let me show you this. This is why. This is what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to play you a couple of videos. This has been happening. What? Now I can't find it. Yeah, okay, here it is. Yeah, we'll do this one. All right. So this happened at the Bears game on Sunday. I mean, it's been happening everywhere for a very long time. Here we go. This is what he's been dealing with. All right, so the crowd at Soldier Field, we got a little fire Nagy. That's where you expect it, right? You expect it at Soldier Field. All right, so we got that one. Then we had this happening. Why won't this stop now? Man, I hate it when I'm rolling and then Wow, I got you now. All right. My God. Oh my God, you guys, I'm sorry. I was starting to flip out. I had 2 windows open playing the exact same clip and I couldn't find where the second one was. I'm sorry. All right, so we had that at the Bears game. And then last night, everybody, we had to deal with this one here. This was happening at the Bears game. You expect it. Bears game is fine. But, here, let's see, what's this? Yeah, let's see there. Oh, for crying out loud, I'm doing something wrong. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Sorry. And this isn't even what I want to talk about. I just want to build this up. All right, so this is happening at the Bulls game last night. So you got the Bears game, crowd spontaneously. All right, so we got the Bears game, we got the Bulls game. But here's the problem one. Watch this. Watch this. You want to believe the people. Look, it's fine. You're at a Bulls game. You want to just start to chant "Fire Nagy." That's fine. Whatever. He ain't there. You're at a Bears game. You're a season ticket holder. You're disgusted just as I am. You want to start chanting "Fire Nagy." That's fine. That's where you should do it. You should be doing it at the Bears game. But how about this, man? All right, watch this nonsense. Is this sharing? This is awful. I hate this. This is what I want to talk about. So just if you've bared with me. Check this out. Check this shit out. Okay. Here you go. This is at a high school football game where this broke out. Here you go. Hear it? Fire Nagy at the high school football game. Well, Pugs, what's the big difference? What's the big deal between, it being a Bulls game or a Bears game? Why is this a big deal that this is going on now at a high school football game? Because this is his fucking kid's game. This is Matt Nagy's son's football game. He's out there playing on the field, and the fans, because they're pieces of shit when they get together in a mob, think that this is perfectly acceptable. People suck, man. This is terrible. Look, he's not a great football coach, but he's not a demon. He's not somebody that we need to just kick till he's bloody in the street, and he's certainly not somebody that we need to start taking shit out on his children. His kid is playing in that game. And here's the problem with us. We are assholes in a group. I mean, boy, oh boy, just look around at any mobs. Well, that's what a mob is, I guess. One person in that crowd would not have had the nerve, the balls, the courage of his convictions or whatever else to stand up at Matt Nagy's son's football game and start going, "Fire Nagy." That dude wouldn't have done it because he's a coward. But as soon as somebody standing next to him goes, "Hey, let's do this," and then somebody behind them goes, "Yeah, let's do it," and then suddenly you got 15 and not. It is the ignorance of anonymity. It is, I am just one voice in a crowd of a whole bunch of assholes, therefore I can't possibly be an asshole. No, you're an asshole. You are a part of the overall asshole movement. The mob is an asshole mob, and you are a willing participant in that. So there you go. That's why Matt Nagy is trending, because he's probably going to get fired. Selena Gomez is trending. I told you, man, after the Grammys came out, a whole bunch of like Grammy people started trending. I don't know what to make of that, except that I will say this. I don't even know who Selena Gomez is. I mean, I didn't until recently. I had no idea who Selena Gomez is. She was a child. That's what I think of. Selena Gomez is like some child, some attractive young girl who's on Disney shows and sings music that makes my ears bleed. I have no real understanding of who she is or what she's about. I know that she's from here. I know that she's from North Texas. She's a local Dallas area kid who's not a kid anymore. And this is what brings me to my point on Selena Gomez. I know who Selena Gomez is now. I totally know who she is. And I am a fan because she is in this new Hulu show called Only Murders in the Building, where she stars with Steve Martin and is it Martin Short? I always get Martin Short and Rick Moranis mixed up, which I shouldn't, because I certainly know the differences between their two styles. But for some reason, when I'm speaking like this, it all becomes a blur. It is Martin Short and Steve Martin and Selena Gomez. They are the three-headed monster of the Hulu show Only Murders in the Building. And that show's great. That show is great. But more to the point, not only is the Hulu show Only Murders in the Building great, Selena Gomez is great in it. I love that dude. Okay, I love that girl. I love that woman because she's like 30 now or something. I don't know. She's close to it. But she plays, so basically the premise of this is they live in this fancy building on like Central Park West in New York. And there are 3 residents of the building, and they are all independently fascinated with a true crime podcast. Now, they don't really know each other. They're just, residents. They ride in the elevator together every once in a while. But something happens in the building where they live that suddenly brings the 3 of them together because they all fancy themselves as junior sleuths because of this true crime podcast that they all listen to. And it's, 2 old guys and the girl, the younger woman who lives in the building. Oh, it's fantastic. It's fun for the whole family. This is not like, Sopranos or Succession or something like that. That's probably only going to appeal to the killer instincts of the machoist of male in the viewing audience. No. This is just a really good show. You can watch this with your kid. You can watch this with your grandma. You can watch this with everything. This is Only Murders in the Building. There you go. A little something for you to talk about at Thanksgiving dinner, if you're so inclined. Looting. We'll do this last one, and then we'll get into the flow chart on how to navigate all the crazy conspiracy bullshit that you're going to hear coming up at Thanksgiving dinner. Looting is trending. Looting is trending. Why is looting trending? Have you seen like the latest way to steal stuff? Okay, so I've seen this in Boston. I've seen this in New York. I've seen this in Chicago. And recently we've been seeing it now this week. I think there's been 4 of these in the Bay Area in San Francisco. And here's what it is. It is like 20 people. They all get together and they stand out in front of what? A Louis Vuitton store. They ain't standing in front of the Dollar Tree. You know what I'm saying? They get in front of like a Louis Vuitton store or, a Tiffany's jewelry stores. I don't know. I don't know if they're doing jewelry, but like Louis Vuitton is the one that I saw the video for. So you get like 20 people and they're like, okay, here we go. We're out in front of the Louis Vuitton store. On the count of 3, let's all 20 of us at once rush into that store and just start stealing shit. They can't, there is no way that they can stop. If one of us tries to do this, oh yeah, we're cooked. But if 20 of us all at once just run into the store, and I'm laughing because it's absolute madness and it's a total indication of how severely broken our society is, that this is something like they couldn't have just come up with this concept, right? I mean, this generation is the first generation that kind of went, hey, if like 50 of us rush in there to the Foot Locker and steal all the shoes. No, but somehow this is what's happening now. And there is an argument debating whether or not this is looting. It's not looting. But that is not looting. Looting is when you're taking advantage of a widespread breakdown, a momentary breakdown in civil obedience. When something has gone wrong and a judgment in a court case and people are taken to the streets and overturning cars, and then you notice while all the police and fire department are busy with the overturned cars and the broken shop windows and all that, you're going to run in and steal TV. That's looting. This is not looting. This is crime. This is like a whole different kind of crime. This is almost like, remember flash mobs that were big? This is like criminal flash mobs. So the argument is, should we call it looting? And I don't want to get into the article because you know what it's about. It's about, well, looting is a racial term. Shut up. No, it's not. Looting is not a racial term. Looting is when somebody during a riot or something like that decides that they're going to get a new TV set and a blender out of the deal. That's what looting is. This is more, what do you say, thought out? There's a plan here. There's not cars burning in front of the Louis Vuitton store when this shit goes down. This is more premeditated. This is more planned. This is, I don't know how you stop it. Bay Area police departments have called what happened at various retail stores this weekend looting. We saw similar crimes happen in the wake of the George Floyd protest. Yeah, it'd be looting. But are the past weekend's crimes truly considered looting? Race and social justice reporter Julian Glover is here to give us some context on the looting. No thanks, Julian. I think I just gave context on it. I think I just explained what is the difference between looting and criminal innovation. What else do we call it? It's criminal innovation. It is a new way that criminals are stealing shit. Looting is, they're pulling down the bars and they're ripping out the windows and they're breaking the window. That's not happening here. This is just like 20 people enter the Louis Vuitton store all at once and just start taking shit. And when one person goes, hey, you can't walk out with that, then there's like 10 more people walking out behind him. And what is that guy going to do? What is that going to do? Criminal innovation. And by calling it that does not mean in any way, shape, or form that I'm endorsing it. I think it's a frightening example of how broken our society is. But with that said, still a new innovation in how you're committing crime. You're not going to get me off that one. All right. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? Before we get into our breakdown of all of the bullshit that you might hear at your Thanksgiving dinner from your Aunt Martha and your Uncle Joe and whoever, let me just do a quick once-over with the trends, because we're going to spend the rest of our time talking about, it's a flow chart. It's like, okay, we'll start with these. You might hear somebody bring this up, and these are probably true. These are not completely crazy. And then we'll go up the scale all the way to get the fuck out of my house. You are not allowed to eat dinner. You are obviously insane. You need to see a doctor. So we'll work our way up that. All right, let's look at this. Quick perusal of trending topics, see if anything new is going. Jason Garrett's trending. He's been fired. Hey! I wish I had the womp, 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 womp. Longtime Dallas Cowboy coach, now former offensive coordinator of the Giants. Jason Garrett's been fired after 26 games in New York. Okay. Oh, look at this. Brian Laundrie is trending. See, I'm glad I took a look at this in the final moments of the show here. Brian Laundrie is trending. We forgot about Brian Laundrie, didn't we? We did. We forgot about him. So we were obsessed with Brian Laundrie for, 3-4 weeks. And then he was dead. And then we just moved on. But we were obsessed with everything. We wanted to know everything. We wanted to know this. We wanted to know that. Brian Laundrie. And then we just moved on. Let me ask you, do you know how Brian Laundrie died? No, you don't. You don't. I didn't either until today. It has been revealed. Brian Laundrie's cause of death was self-inflicted gunshots. Steve Bertolini, the attorney for Brian's family, said that they hope this update can help to bring closure to both families. There we have it. He wasn't eaten by alligators. He wasn't, he wasn't murdered, whatever. He self-inflicted gunshot. Brian Laundrie. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Now you know. Brian Laundrie. Breaking news, self-inflicted gunshot. That's how he died. Didn't we find him like 2 months ago? Like, doesn't that seem so long ago? Beethoven is trending. I don't know if it's the musician. I'm hoping it's the big dog. I know more about the big dog than I do about the musician. Kevin Strickland. I don't know who that is. Glass Animals. Some are surprised to see that Glass Animals received a Grammy. No, I don't know what that is. See, this is all Grammy crap. Okay, a whole bunch of soccer stuff. Here's Nagy. Something new on Nagy. An overwhelming number of Bears players want Matt Nagy gone. Well, you know what? Join the list. So do the fans. Colbert is trending. Apparently, Colbert went out on a rant yesterday on his show. I think Colbert is so funny. I just hate when he gets like super political. And it's like, ugh, I've had it. I used to enjoy the political shows. I used to love The Daily Show. I used to watch Bill Maher. I used to watch John Oliver, Stephen Colbert. I used to enjoy that. And then like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, it just stopped being funny. I just started to go, you know what? Shut up, you rich, dumb millionaire sitting there telling us how wrong everything. It's just, people need to fix this. We don't need to be reminded from you. Stop it. I just hate it. And I don't like Bill Maher. Bill Maher's a douche. But I mean, I do like Stephen Colbert, and I like, I don't know, we'll call him Joakim Noah, the guy who hosts The Daily Show. Trevor Noah, that's it. Trevor Noah. I like him. He seems nice. John Oliver, I love John Oliver. When John Oliver is being funny, he's funny. But when John Oliver is being political funny, it's like, stop it. I'm tired of this nonsense. I'm just tired of hearing people be witty about all of the shit that is ruining life for the rest of us. Can't handle it anymore. All right, so you ready? Should we get into this? All right, let's get into this. All right, I wanted to talk about this. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? There we go. All right, so we're all going to have dinner with people on Thanksgiving, right? So made some notes, did some research, and actually put together I wanted to do this with James and Emil, and maybe we will. Maybe we will bring this back during one of the pillow talks. But I thought it was good to. Hold on. Wait a second. I'm sorry. I just was distracted by something in the chat room. April in the chat room. April, an hour ago. See, I'm not paying attention to the chat room. An hour ago, April told everybody how Brian Laundrie died. I'm not paying attention. I was ranting. I hope my rants were at least semi-entertaining. That's what I'm doing this for. I didn't look at the chat room. I need to pay more attention to the chat room. And in 2022, that is my pledge to you. Pledges are meant to be broken. All right, so I found this list of all of these conspiracy theories, right? All of the things that people talk about and all of the things. And then we're able to break them down into different categories of conspiracy theory. Shit that's, possibly true, that we need to be like, okay, all right, I could see that. That might be, tell me more. We need to look into that. To, again, just there's something wrong with you if you honestly believe that Jesus rode dinosaurs. Okay, so you see like where we're going? That's sort of how this is. All right, so now let's start with things that are probably true. Things that may be real. That if somebody brings this up at Thanksgiving, you don't need to disassociate yourself from them because they might be onto them. Let's see here. What do we got here? FBI spied on Martin Luther King. That's true. It's a conspiracy theory, but that's probably true. Watergate was a real thing. You can talk about Watergate. That was a real Big Tobacco. Big Tobacco lied about cancer. Oh, they did. They lied about cancer, and they did it because it were more important to them to make money than to have people live. Free Britney. The Free Britney thing. There was something terrible being done to her by her parents, and we all know now that that's true. What else do we have? Uh, uh, what is that one? There's a whole bunch here. Okay, big oil pushed climate denials. That's true. We know that's true now. We've seen the memorandums. We know that big oil funded crackpot scientists to write papers that backed up the point that oil is good, sunlight is bad. So we know that these are all at the very bottom. These are all things that people once may have said as a conspiracy theory that we now know. Yeah, those are all pretty true. Those have all bear out as actually having happened. The second category is called, maybe. Let's talk about this. Okay, so that's the second category. Second category is, what's this you say? Maybe. Let's talk about this. That includes shit like UFOs. UFOs. UFOs used to be just, for the craziest of people, but we have moved that line. UFOs might be a thing. We don't know. More and more every day, people who seem to be smart and not hillbillies in a field down there in Mississippi, like actual doctors and scientists and astronauts and, astrophysicists and all that stuff. More government officials from around the world. More and more of these people are coming out going, yeah, there are these things and we don't know what they are. We just don't tell you about them because we want to freak you out. UFOs. This falls into the category of, yeah, okay, maybe we can talk about this. Area 51, again, on the UFO thing. Area 51's a real thing. Something's going on there. I don't know if they have little green men. That's not what we're talking about. But if we're talking about the actual existence of Area 51, yes, we know that's a real place. We know that there is something going on there. That has been proven. But like 20 years ago, there's no such thing as Area 51. Okay, whatever, UFO weirdo. No, we know. We know. We want to know more. But like, what are you doing there? I can't tell you. But no, seriously, like this, obviously tax dollars are going to that. We need to know like what kind of military bases. That's none of your business. It actually is our business. So we have questions. JFK assassination. Okay, we think we know there, but okay. All right, let's talk about it. There are some very strange details there. So you want to talk about the JFK assassination? You don't have to leave my house this Thanksgiving because you know what? I've seen enough in my day. I've seen enough over the years to go, maybe we're not getting the full story on that. Maybe there is more that we need to know about the JFK assassination. Iran-Contra. It's another one. Iran-Contra, that's just the liberals trying to take down Reagan. No, we know now. No, we have seen the memos now. It was long enough ago. Those things were hidden away. Iran-Contra was a real thing. It actually happened. We can all move on. I mean, ain't nobody gonna but let's learn more about it. It actually happened. That's true. We have questions still. Not everything is like crack. How does crack play into Iran-Contra? The arrival of crack in America really does seem to coincide with the United States government doing deals with coke dealers in the Central American jungles in order to take that money, launder it towards rebels in the hills. Let's talk about that. There is something there. All of a sudden, the United States government's got all this cocaine that they bought from rebel. We're not giving you guns. We're buying a whole bunch of cocaine from you because we can't give you money. So we're going to clandestinely buy a whole bunch of cocaine from you people. And we're going to give you all this money. And what you do with that money on the open market, buy planes, buy weapons, buy rocket launchers, whatever you do with the money that you get. And then, hi, I'm the United States of America. We've got all this cocaine that we've been buying for the last 5 years as a secret way to fund the rebellions in Central America. What are we going to do with it? I got an idea. Let's turn it into a thing called crack and sell it to poor people. Poor people, we don't care about them. Yeah, let's do it. And then we had crack all of a sudden. Is that true? I don't know, but it ain't crazy. We can talk about it. We can have a reasonable conversation about that. Our government has been involved in some really awful shit for a long time. Epstein, Brian Epstein, Brian Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Let's talk about that. That's you know what, you're not insane for saying that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. That's something that we can all kind of go, yeah, that didn't seem right. That seemed a little too convenient for a lot of people, for that dude to just suddenly die before he testifies or before we get anything out of him. You're not crazy. All right. Now, let's move into an area where this shit is just false. Okay? This shit is not true. The stuff we're going to talk about here, no, shut up. You're stupid. But you know what? Believing it is basically harmless. So let's not really worry about it. We'll let you have your fun. This stuff is totally not true. You're a moron for believing it, but it's harmless. Stuff like Paul is dead. You know, Paul McCartney, Paul is dead. Whatever, that's fine. Elvis is alive, right? Stevie Wonder isn't blind. These are all real ones that I found. Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer, right? Not true. He is not the Zodiac killer, but it's harmless. It's harmless and it's fun. And if you want to, Greta Thunberg is a time traveler. You know, that little autistic girl who's always like, green energy. I don't really know that much about her. She seems fine. She seems harmless. But yeah, there was a thing that showed like girls throughout history, like hundreds of years ago, kind of look like her. They do kind of look like, but it's not true. Greta Thunberg is not a time traveler. But that's fun, right? Michael Jackson is still alive. I don't know what else. Yeah, I don't know. Prince Charles is a vampire. Kylie Jenner is a clone. Okay, these are absolutely not true, but man, are these fun. All right, so you can have these conversations. They're harmless. They're not true. They are harmless. All right, now we start moving up the chain. Now we're going to get into some things where just fucking stop it. Just don't bring that garbage to my Thanksgiving dinner table. Global warming is a hoax. Just shut the fuck up about that. Just stop it. We know that that's not true. Wayfair. You know, the Wayfair traffics human girls in their refrigerator boxes. Remember that one? Stop it. Stop it. Okay, not only is it not true, but it's just it's cruel. Why are you putting out this ugly, ugh. The moon landing was fake. Shut the F up. Shut up about the moon landing. Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. Yeah, it does. Shut up. It does. Okay? You're right. These are dangerous thoughts for you to be putting out there. Your own Antifa. January 6th wasn't Trump supporters ginned up by Alex Jones and the like. It was actually Antifa en masse, wearing outfits, waving Trump flags to pretend. Stop it. Stop it. That didn't happen. Those are dangerous. You are stupid. The pandemic was planned. And okay, so if someone starts bringing up those category of things, I don't know that you need to ban them from all future family dinners. But if someone starts bringing that shit up, you need to pick up your plate and you just need to go sit at the kids' table. Just pick up the plate, walk in the other room, sit down, get an Indian style, and just enjoy the rest of your meal with a bunch of 5 through 14-year-olds. Because you do not need to be a part of that. You don't need to be listening to that. If your grandma is stuck there, turn her hearing aid off. She doesn't need that crap in her life. All right. And now this is the completely, you are no longer tethered to this planet. You are going to spin off and be thrown out into the universe because you are absolutely insane. And this is nonsense. And oh yeah, you're freaking awful. You are a broken, dumb person. So this is that category. You got your Holocaust deniers. I was reading something And they say that only about 200 Jews were killed. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. I don't care who he is. Tell your new boyfriend to get out of my house. QAnon, just in general, just a blanket statement. If anybody, the QAnon stuff comes up, get out of my house, okay? Stop it. The earth is hollow. Illuminati talk. You know, and he got even like to some degree, like, you know, any talk of deep state, even though I can have some fun with some deep state talk. All celebrities in Hollywood are working for the Illuminati, and they have signed contracts for their fame. And in return for their fame, they have to traffic children for the pedophile elite of the Illuminati. Get out of my house. Grandma, I love you, but get out of my house, Grandma. You can't be spewing that shit in front of my dog. I don't even want my dog hearing that shit, Grandma. Pizzagate. The Nazis went to the moon first. I mean, these are real things that people are. Stop it. Get Hollywood and Hollywood and CNN are turning your children gay or into trannies. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. Bill Gates is responsible for a worldwide depopulation plan. Get out of here. Don't even want to talk to you about this stuff. You're insane. I do anything trans agenda. Well, you know, let's talk a little bit about the trans. Sandy Hook was fake. I will not have it in my house. I will not. Get up. Sandy Hook was fake. Seriously, all these other things I can just laugh off, but you start pulling that Sandy Hook was fake bullshit in my house, I am going to throw my plate at you and I'm going to throw your ass out on my front lawn and you will be banned from ever coming near my house, my children, my dog, my wife, my block ever again. I do like the Hollywood and CNN are turning your kids gay though, because you know. That's that I might need to move down into, because I could talk about that one. Like that one isn't necessarily the get the F out of our house. You know what? I want to bring these back. We just went through them really quickly here. I want to bring these back on Pillow Talk. So if you join us for Pillow Talk, I'd love to get you know, like James Parker's take on this, or even E. But I don't know when those guys are going to be joining me again for Pillow Talk. And honestly, guys, man, I don't even know if we're going to do a Pillow Talk tonight. We might not. We'll definitely do one tomorrow. I promise you that. Tomorrow, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, you best believe that we're going to do a Pillow Talk. But because, as I said, you know, I got a whole new situation this week going on with my kid, because my kid's not in school, so he's with me. So you know, other things. George Soros. If anybody, why on earth should we know that dude's name? If anybody in your house mentions the name George Soros, or even, you know, we'll go on the other way. The who are the brothers? I think they're both dead now. Whatever. Just don't with that stuff. So I don't know if we're going to do a Pillow Talk tonight. I'm not going to do like I did yesterday, where I said there's an 87.5% chance. And then James came over and we started watching comedy movies all night and drinking. And it was like, hey, we probably shouldn't do a show. So George Floyd was a crisis actor. Really? Really? That's what you think? He was a crisis actor. So one job. So he's an actor who needs the money. So he's going to go into this whole world of crisis acting, and he's going to do one job and one job only, and then never work again. And because the whole world's going to think he's dead. Because I'm guessing that if he was a crisis actor, that you're saying, what, did he agree to be killed? Is that what you? Come on, this doesn't hold water on any level. I need the beautifully sane thoughts of John Hinckley to calm me down at this point. How'd you like to have John Hinckley at your Thanksgiving table? How fun would that be? I mean, now, not, probably not before he did. Although I imagine that there's a lot of you that will have dudes at your Thanksgiving table who are decidedly in pre-John Hinckley Reagan mode. Like they just haven't done their bad shit yet, but you can tell by the shit they're talking about it. That's what this chart was for, to try and get these people, just identify these people and keep them away from your house. John Hinckley's going to have Thanksgiving dinner somewhere. I wonder what his table conversation is like. I got nothing else. I appreciate all you guys joining us. We do this every day. Never-ending quest. Monday through Friday, noon, high noon, what we call it. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. Joe Biden is not a robot. If anybody tells you at your Thanksgiving dinner that Joe Biden is a robot, tell him to get the fuck out of your house. Don't shine these people on anymore. That is understood. It has been a journey, a multi-answer test. I am on a never-ending quest. There's also no such thing as reptilian overlords, and there isn't a plan to use the COVID vaccine to turn us all into zombies. Tomorrow is another day. The best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. There is no new world order, and we are not all adhering to the protocols of the elders of Zion. Okay? I promise you that. That's not happening either. I have got an old guitar. That is all I need. I don't need no 401. I don't have the greed. Essential oils do not cure all forms of illness, and ivermectin doesn't cure COVID. Sorry, it's not a cure. It was never presented as a cure for COVID. It was presented as a way to treat the Simpsons, as a way to treat the symptoms, not a cure. Ivermectin is a cure for COVID. It was never presented as a cure, even by the wackiest people. It was presented as a treatment for COVID, not a cure. Travel far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. Let me leave you with this. There is no such thing as Jewish space lasers. Not a thing! Not a thing! Tomorrow is another day. The best is yet to come. I have found a different way. But also, 5G is not toxic. 5G is not a way to control your thoughts. It's not. Baffling to some, I can smile a little now. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is understood. We are not experiencing the great replacement. We are not being replaced. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.